Welcome to episode 2 of the SaaS Founder podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be interviewing John, who is doing over $100,000 a month with his self-storage marketing agency, and now has pivoted to create a SaaS that delivers outcomes as a service to self-storage companies. So not only is this going to be a super interesting episode about niching down, but we're also going to be talking about selling to enterprise companies, because John has sold to self-storage businesses that have well over 100 locations. Interestingly, we're also going to be talking about acquiring your competitors, because John actually bought a portion of my marketing agency earlier this year, which was focused on self-storage in order to dominate his industry. If you're a SaaS founder and you want to learn from 7, 8, and 9-figure SaaS founders, including SaaS founders that have exited, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be interviewing a SaaS founder every week on the SaaS Founders podcast. But let's get straight into it. Thanks for jumping on the SaaS Founders podcast, John. Would you mind just introducing yourself and letting the audience know who you are and what you run?
Yeah, so I'm the founder of StoreIQ. We're a marketing, SaaS, and services business that specializes in the self-storage industry. So kind of our whole platform is designed to help storage operators get more move-ins and kind of grow and scale their business.
And can you give go into the numbers? How big is the business? I know that you've started the SaaS relatively recently alongside the agency, so I'd love to hear what you can share.
Yeah, so we started as a services-only company, so essentially a marketing agency, and then we sort of niched down into self-storage probably about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now. Prior to that, I was kind of working in a lot of industries doing SEO, PPC services, and once we found the self-storage niche, we were really able to grow a lot faster. So I started the SaaS transition maybe about 7 months ago, where I saw kind of like the writing on the wall with AI and just all these different things coming out with like pure services companies. I think there's a place for them, but you're going to have to adapt. So I started to realize like, okay, we need some kind of like proprietary technology, even if it just helps us do the services more efficiently. Like that would have been a win. But now I'm starting to see there's actually quite a bit of demand, and we're able to start dropping our pricing as well compared to our agency service. So we're kind of in an interesting transition of trying to figure out how to go from a pure services company to ideally a pure SaaS company. Where we're kind of in it, like we're more of like a tech-enabled service that my team is mostly using our platform right now to deliver the work for clients. But in a few more months, probably about 3 to 6 months, we might open it up where we actually take on sort of users that can use the platform themselves.
Self-serve.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah. How many clients do you have and how big is the business?
So we probably work with about 50 storage operators, somewhere in that range.
Nice.
And the interesting thing about storage is like one operator could be 50 or 100 different locations or clients. Yes. So it's sort of like an interesting industry from that standpoint. So we have a lot of like, when we started, it was all like one location, maybe 2 or 3 locations, small groups. We're starting to break into some of the larger groups. Like we just, a month and a half ago, we got a 113 location portfolio that we're onboarding. Yeah, so that's where I think a lot of the growth is going to come from, like the enterprise side, where the cool thing about storage too is there's per location pricing. Yes. So a lot of the pricing model is sort of built with, if you can get a 50 or 100 location client, it's sort of like one client that's 100 users almost. Yeah. So that's sort of what we're trying to do.
What John's basically saying there, and I can give you the context, is some clients might pay him $500 and another client might pay him $30K a month.
It's a wide range with that multi-location.
And for those listening, John and I used to be competitors. So how I got into doing SaaS SEO before I exited my SaaS business, in fact, a long way before, maybe 4 years ago, is I was doing SEO for one of the biggest self-storage softwares. And then off the back of that, I started working with their clients, and I felt like I probably got into self-storage SEO maybe a similar time to John as well. I first noticed John because we were both ranking in search engines. Yeah. So I was doing YouTube SEO, ranking for like self-storage business, self-storage SEO, and then I saw John pop up and I was like, right, I've got to beat this guy. And then John acquired the self-storage arm of my agency at the start of this year. I was like, John, you're better than me. Here's the, and now he's the main guy in the space.
Yeah, it's been, that was always a fun battle. I think really there wasn't many people doing any like marketing for storage. That was one of the things I liked about the industry, is like no one was doing YouTube besides you and me. Very little. Some people were doing like a little bit of basic SEO with their websites, but really there wasn't much content on marketing for storage. It was all like how to invest in storage as a business. That was really the only people making content. So it was an interesting window there where, there's no one really putting out marketing content for the industry.
What we do on this podcast, John, we try and like primarily help. Imagine you're speaking to you 12 months ago, or 24 months ago. Can you walk us through how you got your first 10 to 100 paying customers?
Yeah, the first clients, so like what I initially did was just LinkedIn cold outreach. I kind of just found different people in the industry, and my outreach campaign for that was I was kind of not pitching any services. I just actually said like, hey, I'm getting into the industry, would love to like talk to you about what you guys are doing, what like you see is happening in the marketing space. And I got a bunch of people that got on calls with me. Very few of them actually became a paying customer until about a year later, where it just kind of built that intro relationship, which was pretty cool. So that was kind of running in the background. And then YouTube was really where my first customers started coming from. The ranking the videos in search results.
Yes.
Really, I still get leads from them. I have some videos from like 2024 that are still up, that are still ranking. That's one of the nice things about YouTube. You put out a video 2 years ago, and like I probably should update those at some point and make those better, but they're still ranking and driving views, and we get a few leads a month just from those videos, which are like little assets basically.
Well, it's funny because everyone thinks of YouTube as like viral videos, that sort of stuff, but I'm the same. If you type in ChatGPT ads right now, I'm like got 2 out of the 3 at least video slots, and they're getting like 2 videos, 600 views a day by just doing nothing. So it's so overpowered. A lot of SaaS founders ask me the difference between, you've got your self-serve or your smaller clients. How are you landing enterprise clients? How do you land I know that you're not fully transitioned to all SaaS right now, but how do you land a business of 100 plus locations?
Yeah, a lot of that does take time. Like the enterprise deals, that's why I liked personally starting down market and just getting in these small clients, trying to figure out like how to serve them, refine the product and our service, make it better, and then like sort of work your way up. If you can land an enterprise client right away, great. But I think we're in much better position now to like deliver actually. But a lot of that was just building up some of these relationships. Some of them actually have come from YouTube, where they saw a video, which is interesting. Yeah, a lot of it is also from LinkedIn, just posting organic content. LinkedIn to me is interesting, where a lot of the leads I get, like a large enterprise leads, have been following my LinkedIn for like 6 months. They'll usually tell me on a sales call, like, oh, I've been reading your LinkedIn the last 6 months. Nice. They don't like anything, they don't comment, so you have no idea the companies are watching. But then you get on a sales call, and that's helped. So LinkedIn content's kind of interesting if you have like a niche specialty. I think it's hard if you're just kind of a general, just talking about SEO or just talking about something 100%. That you do. But it does work. You don't get a lot of impressions or a lot of views, but when it's this focused, like you only need a couple of these enterprise companies to see your content, follow it, and then when they're ready, they're going to book a sales call. It's hard to get the enterprise companies quickly. A lot of those deals, like the one I just got, I actually lost to another agency about 6 months ago.
Wow.
I was like 90% sure I was going to get that one, and there's a couple little nuanced reasons why we didn't get it, but they basically churned from the other agency and then reached back out. I think I might have checked in with them. Yeah, and then it just timing worked out, and we just signed them a month ago. So some of it comes around over the course of like a cycle when they work with somebody else.
Yeah, congrats, man. And for SaaS businesses, what do you feel is the most overrated channel right now and the most underrated channel?
Yeah, so like for overrated, I'm going to say from my standpoint, depending on your stage, paid ads, like Facebook ads, Google ads in particular. The only reason I say that, like those definitely can work, and you could actually probably scale pretty fast if you figure out how to make those work with the right content. I just think most people start running those too early. If you can build up an organic stream from YouTube, SEO, some organic social content, the nice thing about that is you're not going to scale super fast, but we sign a few clients every single month, and we've done that for like 2 years straight, where every month we sign a few clients. And so our growth is really steady, which helps a lot if you have a fully baked SaaS product, then like that's probably the point where it's like, okay, let's turn the ads on, let's really scale. We're trying to get to that point, but we wouldn't be able to take on, like things would start to break if we took on like 30 clients or 40 companies in 1 month. So I think people go to paid ads a little too early, probably before they build out their organic.
I agree.
But it definitely can work for sure at the right stage.
It's funny, I spoke to a SaaS founder the other week. They're doing 140K a month, but they spend 80K a month on meta ads. So it's interesting, like some SaaS founders, that's all they rely on. But I'm definitely in the same camp as you. I would much rather start with outbound, as you said, LinkedIn to get the initial customers, but then ramp up inbound as soon as possible after that.
Yeah, only other thing on that, like the leads on inbound are a lot easier to close too. Like when someone's followed, like especially with YouTube, like some of the people that have watched like 3 or 4 of my videos, that'll tell me that.
Yes.
It's like, it's so much easier to close those. When I get like referrals, it's even easier to close than referral leads, I find, because someone's watched 4 of your videos, they've watched you for hours. Like I had someone that said like over the weekend, they watched like 6 of my videos. So on their weekend, they're just watching a bunch of videos of me and learning, and then kind of, it's just so much easier that way, especially if you're getting started and you don't have a good sales background. If you're more of like a technical SaaS founder or more of a marketer, like you'll build up some sales skills that way in an easier kind of environment.
It was the weirdest thing for me. There were some points where it was almost like I was a celebrity. Because there's people that might have watched literally up to 10 hours of my content on YouTube related to my SaaS. They've been paying for the SaaS for like 2 years and watched tons of the content. I don't know who they are. And then you get on a call with them. And it's like, I've been watching all your content, and they convert so easy. And in terms of in the SaaS business itself, I'd love for you to like go into the details of what isn't working for you in terms of building it out, because I know that you're in those early stages. So for people watching this, like how are you going about the process of building it out, and what isn't working?
Yeah, so like the way I'm doing the workflow, I have a few developers that are building sort of different aspects of the tool. So like the way I'm thinking about the tool is a lot of it is like execution first. So with SEO and our ads tools, what we're trying to build really is like not just giving you data or telling you what to do, but actually like implementing changes. So our tool can actually tell you what to do, but then go and do it. So really the self-storage industry too, they don't really want to be in the tool.
No.
Like an SEMrush or an Ahrefs kind of software where you have to go in there and do things. It's like the tool really needs to replace what we do as a service is the way I'm thinking about it. Like if we can do it manually, how do we get the tool to do it? That has some challenges. Like our workflow, I'll usually do the UX and design with Lovable or like one of these different AI tools.
Yeah.
I can iterate really fast and I kind of have like the feel for what I want it to look like. And then I'll usually send that with the specs of what the feature we're building is going to do to my developer. And then he'll be able to take that, and I'm not using Claude Code or anything. I have developers that are doing it. I was looking into that for a little while, like maybe, actually curious your perspective on that from like a workflow of actually like drafting with Claude Code and then giving that to the developer, or do you just go like specs, design stuff, and sort of pass that to your developer? I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think for SaaS founders, especially if you've got an eye for design, personally what I was doing is using like Figma Make. Something to get like a really nice feel and flow. The difficulty that I find building something in Claude Code to then hand to a developer is Claude and maybe yourself has made assumptions on how it should be built. And it's like, I don't want to tell a developer how to build something because hopefully they're using AI to build it. And the value that they have is like, they know how to build it or how it should be built. So I don't want to write any code. I just want to do the UI, which is, Lovable can be one way, or Figma Make I really like as well to get it good. Yeah. And actually Claude Design's pretty good now. So I've been building design systems in Claude Design, and then I've been handing that over either to a developer or Claude Code. So that's been a bit of a cheat code.
Yeah, I have to look at that a little bit more. Yeah, Figma making. I'm doing some reporting stuff with Claude and Claude Code where it'll kind of dropping a bunch of data and then having it whip up some different reports. But yeah, I got to check that out a little bit more. Okay, so I'm on the right track then maybe with my workflow.
Yes,
I was curious.
I think it's good. That is good. And everyone's saying right now that SaaS is dead. Like SaaS stocks are trading below the S&P 500 for the first time ever. And I feel that you're already doing this because you're doing like really service as a software. But tell us, like, do you think SaaS is dead or dying, and how are you changing things in the next 12 months because of your opinion?
Yeah, I think I don't know that anything ever really dies, more like evolves and changes. So I do think like if you're a SaaS company that's not really implementing things and just kind of giving data and just giving like insights on like what to do, I think those are going to be in a lot of trouble. I think you do have to get your tool to implement and like take some of the work
Yes.
that the person using it would have to do themselves, because they can just go to Claude and ask it and give it the recommendations. They don't necessarily need your tool to give the recommendations unless you have some underlying data or like IP that you're using. That I think that's the other path, and we're looking into this too, of like being the underlying data and APIs and like infrastructure that then can plug into all the AI tools people are using. We're looking into that in the self-storage industry on like, we have some attribution products. With storage, the interesting thing, it's part e-commerce and part lead gen. So interesting industry, like you could purchase through a website, but a lot of activity still happens over the phone. So we built a tool which is interesting. Like we built a tool that will transcribe the calls, use AI to score them, and then we'll go into their property management software and see if the caller's in their FMS to verify that they moved in. So now we're able to like uncover all this extra conversion data and then feed that into your ads. So now Google's optimizing off all your move-in data, not just online rentals.
Yes.
So that kind of thing, I think the attribution, like the underlying data, because then like we can set that up and you could manage your ads yourself with Claude and go back and forth. But that kind of like data piece is what we're looking into more of, like how do we build more stuff like that where people don't have to use our platform, they can use some of our attribution. And plug that into whatever AI tool they like and have that give them the recommendations. So yeah, it's an interesting time for sure. I think I just keep going back to like execution. Like we really got to figure out like how do you get your tool to implement stuff and make the changes.
I agree. SaaS founders have got to move from a system of knowledge to a system of action and be hyper verticalized like you are. Our last guest, he has an affiliate software and he's like, if we can just be the best in the world at helping you find the best affiliates for your business. He's like, we've got 98 million rows of affiliates in different niches. And you're sort of saying the same thing. Like, how can I go really niche and build some sort of competitive advantage through data?
Yeah, that's really the way I see it. So we're still kind of exploring that. Like my first phase is like, let's get all the stuff we're doing as a service automated into the platform. So it sort of like replaces the need for our team doing this work. And then how do we like transition that into making it all like open with APIs or like being able to have people connect Claude to our tool and like kind of work out of that instead of our tool. Those things I don't think I have the answer yet, but we are looking at the next few months as we get it more built out.
It's funny, I almost feel that service business owners like you, and it's my background as well, we have almost a competitive advantage in the way things are going because we're used to delivering outcomes. So it's like, how can we get to that outcome and with AI faster than like a normal SaaS would? Maybe you've got to get it up, which is fine, but I'd love for you to show the part of your SaaS, your product that you're most proud of.
Yeah, let me share here. What's interesting about building as like an agency first too is we get to test this like sort of behind the scenes. So like our clients we're just delivering an outcome to them. So like they don't really know, like if a feature is not working or the design isn't right, as my team uses this every day, we get actually really fast feedback. We don't have to wait for customers to give us feedback. Like my team is using it day to day. So by the time it's ready to launch for like self-serve, we're going to have like months and months and rounds of edits and like real feedback from people that really know how to do the work and use it. So that part is sort of like an interesting advantage of starting as a service business. Like we already have a big client base that we can, as soon as we built it, we were able to roll it out and start using it. A couple of the things that I'm pretty excited about. So one that we just launched is a local service ads tool. So one of the challenges with local service ads, and we're actually gonna, the Lurker one is more of what it's gonna look like. I kind of mocked it up here, but we're gonna fix it in the platform. Is like local service ads are call only. And Google gives you a recording. Yes. So if you're getting like 649 calls, you have to listen to every single call to start figuring out what's happening. So we basically transcribe because Google doesn't give transcriptions. And then we use AI to categorize the leads and give us a summary. So we can quickly see like what's an existing customer, which one's actually a lead. Like this one asked about pricing. They asked about 10 by 10 units.
And is it human picking up that phone or is it an AI agent or both?
Right now, it's mostly humans, but some of our clients, we partner with a lot of like AI voice for storage. I don't think we're going to venture into that because there is a few companies that are doing a really good job in that space. And we actually integrate and partner with them. That's one of our offers is like with one of the companies is, hey, we'll automate your ads. And then if you use the AI voice company, you're basically just getting leads and move-ins without having to do anything. Like our tool runs the ads, their tool answers the call. So that I think is pretty exciting. And that's definitely where it's going with AI voice. But yeah, we could automatically categorize leads. We can confirm move-ins if they take a payment over the phone. We could actually confirm that we got a paying customer.
Nice.
So this just launched. We still have to like integrate it into our UI. This was like an old mock-up, but that kind of thing I'm really excited about because we could even open this up as an API that feeds into Claude or some other tools they're using, so they don't even need to use our interface, and like they could work with this data however they want. So that's kind of, we're building like a UI for everything and a feature for people that don't want to do that. But that's sort of, I think the next step with this, some of these features is like opening it up so people can just connect it to whatever they like to use. But
yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah, and like our structure, we're still iterating on this. Like the way our products are laid out is like we have our PPC manager that can eventually we'll be able to manage your ads fully. Like right now we have a few different features. To show this one quickly. Like one of the things with Google Ads is like negative keywords is really annoying and tedious. So that was like one of the first things we wanted to automate. So like our tool, you could basically put full automation on where you don't have to do anything. It'll scan your account every day and upload the negative keywords without you even looking at it. Some people like to go review first because they're kind of scared to do full automation.
Yes.
Because of how like vertical specific we are, like this is where like there is tools that do negative keywords, but ours will actually like automatically pick up what types of storage you offer because we have FMS integrations. So like this one's manual because I don't have it connected, but it'll automatically check off the storage types that you have. So it knows to block all these other types that you don't have.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like this is where like storage specific, like vertical like nuance of like you could use another tool to do negative keywords, but ours already knows all the things you're going to show up for, like competitors. It'll pull in like your top 10 competitors that are located near you so we can block their names. That's like another really common thing is like the word storage triggers for like all your competitor names. Yeah. Usually you just get people that are confused. They think they're calling extra space and it sort of wastes your ad budget. So the other thing is like locations. So we'll pick up your address and find surrounding cities that are too far away to get customers, but Google's probably going to show your ads for still. So like once you do the setup process, we kind of like trained it as a starting point, and then we basically apply a few hundred, and then every day.
With that, you were showing spend saved $230. Spend saved. That's cool.
Yeah, like I'm still working on the calculation on that one, but that was sort of the idea of like, it's kind of tricky to calculate, but yeah, how do we show like you turn this on right away, you're already saving money every month, and then it's like, I'm looking at like time saved too. I'm curious your thoughts on that. With like AI agents that can do the work, do you think that's something, if we sort of had like a time saved metric, like, oh, our tool, you would have had to spend 5 hours running this task this month?
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting.
One of the reasons I love what John is doing is he's found the SaaS cheat code. One of the biggest reasons why I was like, John, you've won this space. Please just be the self-storage guy. What you've done is like, when we think about is AI killing SaaS, it's killing the general SaaS companies. When you're so niche and specific like you've done there, how can anyone beat you? Like, I remember John showed me this spreadsheet when one of the first times we met. I looked at this spreadsheet, I was like, shit, I can't compete with John. And that's how you win in SaaS in 2026 and beyond. To answer your question, because John as well has such a specific ICP, like self-storage guys, they're American guys, 50 plus, super straight talking, they're investor archetypes. So like one thing that I would show is like money spent. They maybe don't care about time as much because they were never going to do it anyway. But they care about, you've saved this much money compared to hiring someone. You've saved this much wasted ad budget, because that's all they care. They're just money driven. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, that might be interesting. Instead of like time save, like having a formula that like multiplies it by like an hourly rate or something.
Exactly.
Like dollars saved on the hire that would have had to do this work. Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably resonates more than like, because they're realistically not going to do the work anyway. And like they're not going to spend 10 hours doing it. So yeah, it's interesting.
And multiply that by 12, because like that's maybe ad spend saved in a month.
Yeah.
Like some agencies are going to run that for 12 months and they wouldn't even know. So like hike that number up.
Yeah, I got to work on that, the formula there. Yeah, I like that though.
It's funny, I know what you mean. I used to have that all the time in my SEO software. People would ask, oh, how did you come up with that formula? Like, what's it based? And I'm like, I don't know. It's sort of like, it's V1, it's V1. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And what are you most excited about in the next 12 months for StoreIQ?
Yeah, I think like really pushing aggressively on getting the rest of like our core features live. I think we're probably about halfway to like fully automating our service. I want to get that finalized, like fully, like all of our customers, it's all running through the platform. The only like manual work we're doing is probably checking the software, reviewing it, kind of making sure things are working the way we want. Once we have that, I think that's when we will really be able to scale. I think a lot of industries are probably seeing this, just the pricing pressure to get your price down because of AI. So like this is going to give us, we're probably going to be the lowest price compared to the marketing agencies that are doing the work manually, but give way better results and a way better outcome. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a no-brainer for a lot of people when they're evaluating, because right now as a service, we're higher priced than the other agencies. So we do come into, we lose some deals on price. I think we'll be able to be the lowest price compared to those agencies and then have a way better product. So it's essentially hopefully going to be a no-brainer for people when they see like what we can do at a lower price point than all the competitors that really still aren't building, which I think they need to be.
AI gives better, faster and cheaper. And you know you're delivering exactly that. And the last question is, let's imagine you could see John 3 years ago when you were first getting into self-storage, maybe weren't thinking about the SaaS. What is the advice you would give to John 3 years ago?
Yeah, I would have moved faster on this. When I started, I was sort of waiting till we got a certain point in revenue to then start deploying capital to building out the software. I think I would have tried a lot faster, because we'd be miles ahead right now. We'd be I think we'd be in a very interesting spot. So I think waiting too long and just focusing on services for the first 2 years or so, I think I could have started building some things like simultaneously while we're doing that. I think that would have gave us a big advantage. The services do help because you sort of prove the demand and prove like what is it that like is really going to help this group, and then you could build products off of that versus like not guessing, but just sort of thinking like, okay, this product, they're going to really want it. It's going to work well. And so like the agency model does have some advantages to going pure SaaS, but I think I would have started a lot quicker and moved a lot faster on this. I finally like about 8 months ago or 9 months ago, I started thinking about it and was like, I really got to like pull the trigger and do this now. But yeah, I think I would have moved a little faster.
Hindsight is a beautiful thing, I guess.
It is, yeah. Yeah, it is. So yeah, our goal ultimately, like making the full switch, I think is going to have some challenges, because also from like a valuation perspective, like right now, if we're like tech-enabled in a service, it's a little bit better than being a pure services business, but ultimately to get like a SaaS valuation, that's the thing I'm trying to figure out. Is like how do we fully, we got to get to self-serve. We got to get like our time on accounts down to show like we are a true SaaS company. So I'm figuring that detail out. Like how do I fully show that we actually made that transition so that like when we're ready to exit, we're valued as a SaaS company and not looked at as like a tech-enabled service.
It's exciting, and I'm doing the exact same. Like I'm all in on ChatGPT ads at the moment, and rather than initially we're looking at a SaaS, but it's like when you're so early in a space, you just don't know. So start off as a service, get your hands dirty, and then turn it into a SaaS in the future.
Yeah, and build from there. I think that's a good approach, because you're going to find a lot of things when you're running that service that you probably wouldn't have thought of right now to build features or to adapt the tool to what people want. So I think that approach, you're going to be miles ahead versus someone that maybe is just launching a SaaS that can spend a lot of time building something that they're going to scrap in a few months anyway. So I like the approach.
I speak to SaaS founders all the time that are in that position. And the day, I don't care what I build. I just want to build something that's used by thousands of people and make a shit ton of money in the process. So it's like, maybe during this path, I find a different problem, but you only find that by getting your hands dirty.
Yeah, you can't really replace that live experience on those accounts, like running their ChatGPT ads, getting the nuance and like figuring out what would help you running the ads.
Exactly.
That you're already doing. So yeah, that I think is going to be interesting for you to be able to still move fast, but really build it the way people are going to want to use it.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you sharing everything, John. I'll leave John's LinkedIn in the comments, in the description if you want to check him out. And thanks, John. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.